Hello, children. Today we are going to cover the topic time in this session. Now, what are the learning outcomes of this topic? You will be able to tell time in seconds. You will understand how to use time in 24-hour clock. You will be able to solve word problems related to time. So, time in seconds, you must have seen the watch, a wall clock. There are three hands on this clock. You can see the blue one, the red one, and the black one or gray one. So the blue one is representing minute hand here. The red color, the red hand is representing hour, and the gray one is representing the seconds. This is the hour hand, this is the minute hand, and this is the second hand. Now I can recall that 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. And 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds. So we use S to, we generally denote S for representing seconds. Use a stopwatch to see what you can do in 1 second. If you're having a digital watch or a stopwatch at your home, you can use in 1 second what you can do. Now look at the screen. The time representing here is 3 p.m. You can see the hour hand is representing is aligning towards 3 and the hour hand is aligning at 12. So this is 3 p.m. 3 p.m. in the afternoon. After 30 seconds, what will happen? Just look at the figure. The second watch, which was on 12, has gone to 6. The second hand. Again, after 30 seconds, what will happen? This second hand will move on to 12. Just see here. So the second hand, in the beginning it was at 12. After 30 seconds it moved to 6, and again after 30 seconds it has come back to its original position, that is 12. So after the second hand, after covering 60 seconds, this half 30 seconds, this half 30 seconds, so it had covered one full clock, and it has, the time has been now 3 hours 1 p.m. Now just tell me, what is the time shown on the clock? So time here is, can you see there's the red hand, that is the hour clock, is between 9 and 10. And the hour hand, the minute hand, is at 6. So this is 9 hour 30 minutes in the clock. 9 hour 30 minutes. So using a 12-hour clock, 9:30 a.m. So for the morning, you have to write a.m. and for the evening, you have to write 9:30 p.m. If this time is in the morning, that you have to write a.m. and if this time is at the evening or at night, you have to write p.m. Using 24-hour clock. Now what in 24-hour clock, you have to write this as 09:30 hours. Okay, so this time will represent 9:30 in the morning. Now what is the time shown on the clock? Can anyone tell? So this is 10 o'clock. This is 10 o'clock. Now since we are using, this is a 12-hour clock. So this is 10, this time can be, just look at the figure. Now here you can see the stars. That means this time is in the night. This time is representing night. So here, this is 10 o'clock in the night, or you can say 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Now what about 24-hour clock? So now using 24-hour clock, this will become 2200. So 2200 hours will be the time in 24-hour clock. So 24-hour clock, just look at the figure. It starts from the midnight, then 1 a.m. Now 1 a.m. in the morning is 100 hours. 2 a.m. in the morning is 200 hours. 11 a.m. in the morning is 1100 hours. And 12 in the afternoon, that is the noon, is 1200 hours in 24-hour clock. Now 1 p.m. in the afternoon is 1300 hours in 24-hour clock. 2 p.m. in the afternoon is 1400 hours in 24-hour clock. And 11 p.m. in the midnight is 2300 hours. And again, midnight, it's 0 hours. So this is how we represent time in 24-hour clocks. So you can see the difference of 12-hour clock and 24-hour, how we represent time. Now you can use 12-hour clock. So this is 4:30 a.m., 3:15 a.m., noon, and 12:40 p.m. So 4:30 a.m. is actually 430 hours. Now 17, 20, 24-hour clock, what will be the time in 12-hour clock? It will be 5:20 p.m. 3:50 p.m. in 24-hour clock is actually 1515 hours. 205 hours in 24-hour clock is actually 2 hours 5 minutes in 12-hour clock. Noon. So noon is actually what? It's 1200 hours in 24-hour clock. 2155 hours is actually 9:55 p.m. And 12:40 p.m. in 24-hour clock is 1240 hours. And the last one is 505 hours is actually 5 a.m. in the morning. So let's solve one word problem. Palak started reading the newspaper at 1800 hours. She finished reading at 1920, that is 1920 hours. How long did she take to read the newspaper? Okay, so I can solve this using a timeline. You can use a timeline for this. She started reading the paper at 1800 hours. And she finished reading the paper at 1920 hours. So from 1800 to 1900, she covers 1 hour. And from 1900 to 1920 hours, she covered 20 minutes. So total, she took 1 hour, 20 minutes time to read the newspaper. Next question. Shrishti finished cooking his lunch at 1345 hours. She took 2 hours 20 minutes to cook. At what time did she start cooking his lunch? Let us again use the timeline. She started at 1345 hours. Now she took 2 hours 10 minutes to cook. Now we have to find at which time she started cooking. We know that she finished her cooking at 1345 hours. That means we have to move back. Okay, so let's start from here. From 1300 hours to 200 back, 2 hours back, it will be 11 hour, 1145 minutes or 1145 hours. Again, 10 minutes, we'll subtract 10 minutes. We'll go back 10 minutes more. So from 11:45, we will take 10 hours, 10 minutes from here. So this will become 11 hour 35, 1135 hours. ओके, आपको समझ में आया कैसे किया हमने? सृष्टि ने खाना बनाना कब फिनिश किया? शी फिनिश्ड एट 1345 आवर्स. क्वेश्चन ये है कि हमें फाइंड करना है कि उसने कितने बजे कुकिंग स्टार्ट की. तो दैट मीन्स हमें पीछे की तरफ जाना है. हम क्या करेंगे? 1345 आवर्स से हम 2 घंटे पीछे जाएंगे. तो जब हम 2 घंटे पीछे जाएंगे, सो 1345 आवर्स में से हम 2 hours माइनस करेंगे. सो दिस विल बी 1345, 1245, 1145. सो इट विल 2 hours पीछे गए तो कितना मिला? 1145 आवर्स. इसमें से अभी हमें 10 मिनट्स और पीछे जाना है. दैट इज 1145 से 10 मिनट्स माइनस करेंगे. सो दिस विल बिकम 1135. सो एक्चुअली सृष्टि स्टार्टेड हर कुकिंग एट 1135 आवर्स. गॉट इट? Next is Mohini took a flight from Melbourne to Singapore, which lasted 9 hours 30 minutes. She stopped in transit for 2 hours before taking a connecting flight to Penang for 1 hour 15 minutes. If she landed at 8:30 on Tuesday, when did she leave for Melbourne? Let's start. Mohini took a flight from Melbourne to Singapore, which lasted 9 hours 30 minutes. तो टोटल उसकी जर्नी कितने की थी? 9 hours 30 minutes from Melbourne to Singapore. She stopped in transit for 2 hours before taking a connecting flight to Penang for 1 hour 15 minutes. So we have to find out when did she leave Melbourne. So let's start. हम कहाँ से start करेंगे again? We'll start from here. 8:30. Now what was 8:30? 8:30 क्या था? अब देखिए हम स्टार्ट करेंगे पीछे से. शी लैंडेड ऑन 8:30 ऑन ट्यूसडे. ये वाला टाइमिंग कब का है? ट्यूसडे को. शी लैंडेड ऑन ट्यूसडे एट 8:30 आवर्स. ओके, उससे पहले उसने क्या किया? 1 hour 15 minutes का उसका क्या था? फ्लाइट टाइम था. सो विल सबट्रैक्ट 1 hour 15 minutes फ्रॉम हियर. सो 8:30 से 8:15 हमने किया. 15 मिनट्स यहाँ पर हो गए. 1 hour 15 minutes का था. और 8:15 से 7:15 कितना हो जाएगा टाइम उसका? 1 hour 15 minutes. जस्ट सी हियर, वी आर गोइंग बैकवर्ड. हमें पता करना है कि उसने कब फ्लाइट मेलबर्न से कितने टाइम पर फ्लाइट ली एंड ऑन विच डे. ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट फ्रॉम हियर. 8:30 को शी लैंडेड ऑन मेलबर्न. Okay, then we'll move back 1 hour 15 minutes. That is 7:15 hours. 7:15 hours से 5:15 hours उसने 2 hour का ब्रेक लिया. She stopped in transit. तो 7:15 से 5:15 कितना हो गया? 2 hours का ब्रेक लिया. Then अब उसके पास कितना? 9 hours 30 minutes again she took for the flight. So अब हम क्या करेंगे? 5:15 से 4:45 she covered 30 minutes. Then 4:45 से 19:45 she covered 9 hours. She covered 9 hours. Okay, so this is how you have to calculate. She started from 8:30. 8:30 से हम फिर बैक में गए. 1 hour 15 minutes. Then again she took the break of 2 hours, and then she covered the distance. She covered the time of 9 hours 13 minutes. So she left Melbourne at 9:45, 19:45, 1900 hours 45 minutes on Monday.